You know, when it comes to the caregivers in this industry, there are so many pros and beautiful things that happen with them, but then there's also just this untalked about con that's going on right now. Caregiving is the #1 most in-demand job in our country today. Healthcare, we should say. And there are not enough people getting into this industry. The younger generations, they're not excited about becoming a caregiver, and so nobody's taking those courses, nobody's getting those certifications anymore, and it's a literal problem because we have way too many seniors coming into the market and no one left to take care of them. And so it is a struggle. People ask all the time, well, what are we gonna do? There's a caregiver shortage. I can't fix the world's problem, right? Because the baby boom, it didn't just happen in America. It happened after the World War. This is happening in every single country across the whole world right now is having issues with who's going to take care of this mass amount of elders coming into the senior care space. And I don't really have a grandiose solution, but I know what I like to focus on in my homes and what I show people how to do, which is treat your caregivers with the utmost respect. Be the kind of boss that they want to work for, that they do tell their friends about, that they're excited to come to work for. And you can kind of only control your world, right? And attempt to do better and bring a solution. But me paying my caregivers triple the amount doesn't solve the economic problem we're having. Yes, they might be happy, right? They may never leave, but also money doesn't solve everything either. I think it really comes down to treating them with respect, appreciating them, loving on them. We do so many different protocols, like having them take predictive index before we hire them, having them take love language tests before we hire them. So I know how to appropriately love on them, right? It's called the appreciations in the workplace. I don't want to be HR violation, right? But if somebody's love language is not words and I come running in the door, oh my God, I heard you helped, Judy, and I give them a big hug and they're just like mortified that I would call them out in front of their coworkers, in front of, the seniors, that's not going to go very far. But if I knew that it was gifts and I knew that they loved gardening and I bought them like a $50 at-home planter or fresh seeds or something for a cool new plant, that would have gone way further to be able to show my love for them. And I wouldn't know that if I didn't know all those little things about them. So we focus really heavily on what are those little things you can do to set yourself apart. Even so much to say that we've had students who have had caregivers who call and say, hey, I'm gonna be late to work. My tire just blew out. I don't have the money right now to go replace it. I'm gonna be late because I've got to get an Uber. I have to tow the car. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And they sound stressed and they sound, they're freaking out on the phone. And our student called me after this experience and they told me, I told them, don't worry, where are you? And they gave them the location. They said, I'm gonna meet you there. You get an Uber, go to work, I'll take care of the car. And they got the caregiver a fresh tire. That caregiver had been with them for like a year, but a tire to the owner operator is nothing. A tire to the caregiver, that could be a whole week, if not 2 weeks worth of pay that could have set them back. And now they're all stressed because now they don't want to be in trouble that they're late. It's also like a sneaky good way to find out if that's really what is going on. Because hypothetically, if he's like, well, I'm on the 10, and you're like, where? And they don't tell you, never mind, okay, sorry, I can't come, right? You could find out really quick if it is or isn't a truth. But for the most part, if you are open, honest, loving, respectful, they're gonna be the same way back to you. And when you do buy that one tire, it goes a long way. That caregiver has now been with that team for like years because their loyalty is so bred in, it's woven into the relationship. And they respect their boss. It wasn't like I got you and pay me back. It was like I got you. You're good. Like you are taken care of when you work here. So yes, money can go a long way, but I think also people don't come to work for just a physical paycheck. They come for an emotional paycheck. And there's so many scenarios in life where people just don't care about you. And if you're a caregiver, literally care is in your job title. The least you can do is care on them. Give care to them. That's what they want to do in this world, is to give that. Give back to them what they so badly want to give, and that relationship will be good. And so can I solve the world's problem of us not having enough caregivers? No. But can I solve the problem in my community where there's high turnover in this industry and people who get out of this industry because of the abuse, the neglect, the overworking, underpaying? I can solve that problem in my world and with my students by showing them how to be a good boss. The large grand scale problem, we need to put all of our hearts and minds together and figure out what are we going to do, because yes, the silver tsunami is coming. Yes, it's an opportunity, but it is also a crisis if you're looking at it from another angle. So there's a lot of questions that are unanswered. And I'd love to be able to say, oh, the government will take care of us, and I don't think that's going to happen. So we do need to come together, because the only people who've ever changed the world are a few thoughtful individuals. And that's where it starts. So together we can do more. But for right now, I control my environment, and I ask myself that question every day. How do we get more amazing caregivers?